staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 7 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup, what you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Your mustache is falling.
Mustache is falling off. It's got to go. Ski's got another strikeout that I don't want to take. As soon as I take it off, they're going to give up a run. I'm trying to keep it on until he comes out of the game. It's all over the place. Come on. I'm superstitious.
He's got 10. He's got 10 Ks.
He's cruising. Wow.
They pulled Skeens, by the way.
Yeah, they pulled him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. All right, so time to talk rack with Coach James Young, our hoop specialist on Coast to Coast and on the grid. Of course, he's everywhere. Betting Above the Rim podcast, you name it. He's always dealing. Did you see the Embiid block and the Edwards dunk? Were you watching when that play sequence happened?
I did not see it, Ferrall. I'm just getting into this game at this point. I just, honestly, Ferrall, I just want to see them play better. I had a lot of – the game on Saturday kind of reared a lot of the problems I thought we had with our team. Number one, the ability to shoot the ball from three. Two, the fact that we looked disorganized in regard to offensively throwing the ball around the gym. All the turnovers were down to 12. But to me, the biggest takeaway is, Ferrall, do we have anybody that can stop the ball on the perimeter? Like, it didn't matter who it was. Even the King was getting cooked going to the basket. I was hoping to see a better defensive performance. Let's see up 7 at the break. Let's see if they can extend this and play a little bit better in the second half.
All right, so first of all, you know how good Holiday is at defending the perimeter. Second of all, there is no way, I believe, for 1 minute that they don't have great outside shooting with Curry. Frankly, even I'm going to go Tatum, I'm going to go White, I'm going to go Holiday. They can all knock down threes. Even Holiday can knock them down. I saw Embiid swat a dude at the rim going in for an absolute tomahawk dunk. He flattened this dude. I mean, it was the best block. It's the only thing he's done since they started playing these games. Embiid actually flew in and just stuffed this dude. And then Edwards went the other end and did a Michael Jordan flying from the free throw line in with a hanger dunk, like tomahawk dunk, like you have no idea. It's the first they've looked good to me in any game, and they're barely winning this game. What was your reaction when you saw? Because I was literally rooting for Sudan on Saturday. It got to the point where I was rooting for them to win the game.
Oh, it's like Rudy. It's like Rudy. At the end of the day, you start rooting for the underdog because you want to see how long they can keep this up. And it's always like you're waiting for the USA to punch, like, right? And they punch finally in the fourth quarter. And you're like, 9 times out of 10, that knocks the team out. But Sudan continued to scrap and claw. They got stops down the end. And let's be honest, Ferrall, can we be real for a second? You and I are boys. Anthony Edwards hacked the crap out of that kid. That kid should have been going to the free throw line with a chance to win that game because he got it absolutely mugged that poor kid. So listen, we escape, and at the end of the day, Ferrall, I know this sounds crazy as a coach. When you're supposed to be the best team, right? I know this sounds crazy. You sometimes want to have a game where you're not at your best, where you get scared, where you got to get stopped, where you have to work on your end-of-game situation. So good for the U.S. It happens now. Hopefully they wake up because obviously Germany, a lot bigger test than South Sudan.
I mean, honestly, we were talking earlier. Morency thinks it's Canada and the U.S. in the final.
Of course. You think, Canada's going to say anything else? He's probably taking Canada to win outright, that guy. He's such a homer. We're not talking about Morency.
He did take him to win it.
Of course he did. Listen, Ferrall, yes, they're probably the two best teams, but don't sleep on France. We talked about this. This Wembanyama, Big Rudy, they play together a long time. Evan Fournier can't do anything in the NBA. He gets an international ball. He's either hitting threes or choking people out. Sometimes he's doing both in the same game. So to me, France is another team you have to look at because of the experience and the fact that, and this is where it gets tricky, folks, right? It's the same thing kind of happened with the women. Right? There's no cohesion, right? These international guys, they go to training camp to play year after year after year. They know each other, right? Steph is all excited to play with LeBron. LeBron never played with Steph, right? This guy never played with that guy. How do you integrate Ant Edwards? So to me, there's a lot of teams you can look at that could, maybe give us a scare. To me, Canada, I would take France over Canada because of the height. I think that they present the biggest problem because of Gobert and especially Victor Wembanyama.
How about the odds there? Sudan, the lowest on the rack. The worst team in the tournament took them to 101-100 in an exhibition game. Unbelievable. Now, tonight, you got Memphis and Miami, and I got to go with my boy Khalil Ware. I got to go with the 7-footer, the Hoosier. I got to see if they can beat No Edie playing tonight. Can you tell me who you like in this one? The championship.
Yeah, I like Miami. One, it's something about this Heat culture of what they try to do, and if you want to, take them on the money line and win it outright, they beat teams up. Now, obviously, you got Jackson, you got some other guys that are pretty good. Remember, not only knows Zach Edey, Cam Spencer's looked pretty good too. Supposedly he's not playing tonight either, so that's another person you're taking out of the lineup. I think Miami kind of goes for it. I think Ware is the kind of guy that, like Hawkes last year. He's okay. He's good. Miami, here we go. They're going to nail that draft pick because they nail every other one that they take. So I do like Miami plus the points. And I will say this really quick back to South Sudan. Remember Charles Barkley, I don't know about Angola, but Angola's in trouble. I will say this right now. Whatever is the first quarter line of South Sudan and the United States in group play, take the Americans. Because they're going to beat the snot out of them in the first quarter after what's happened on Saturday night.
Okay. Famous last words. Anyway, what did you think of the WNBA All-Stars beating the Team USA women on Saturday in Phoenix?
Is there a UConn bias or is there a UConn bias? Because let's be honest, Ferrall, who was the best guard on the floor in the game? Probably Enrique Nwubuwale. Who was the best distributor on the floor? You're going to say probably Caitlin Clark. Who was the best rebounder on the floor? You're going to say Angel Reese. Why are none of these three on the team? Before, I underestimated Caitlin Clark. I'm going to say this, folks. I knew her passing was going to translate. I didn't know about the scoring. I thought she did a great job of just getting people in spots as playing as a prototypical point guard. But I will tell you something. There isn't a better one-on-one player in the WNBA than Enrique Nwubuwale. And folks, look at the last time our U.S. team played the WNBA All-Stars. They snubbed Enrique Nwubuwale. What did Enrique Nwubuwale do in that game? 93-85, 23 points, MVP. So what did she do at the encore? Oh, she don't score in the first half. I'll just drop 21 in the third quarter, 34 for the game, and show you that I'm better than Plum. I'm better than Jewel Lloyd. I'm better than Inescu. I'm better than Copper, and I should have been on this team. It's a shame the kid can actually score.
Who does she play for?
Dallas Wings. And if you remember, this is the same kid that went to the Final Four. I was there, and she hit back-to-back game winners at the buzzer. Arike can flat out score.
What was she playing at Notre Dame or something? Where did she play?
She played at Notre Dame. She gave Muffet McGraw an extra. I think she beat, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was UConn and then Mississippi State. Either way, I was at the game because I was coaching, and so I got my free tickets. But what a performance she had, and what a score. And she's in Dallas. People don't get to see her enough. She's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, the performance. You know, Clark, nothing surprises me anymore. Before they went, she had the 19 dime game, and then she had 10 in this game. I was surprised, to be honest with you. I thought, you know, that the Team USA was the greatest 12 players in the world, and they're going to destroy everybody, and they'll beat that rookie-laden WNBA All-Star bunch. And it was the exact opposite. I couldn't believe it. So enjoy the Memphis-Miami game tonight. I'm balling tonight. So you're going to have to tell me what happens because I'm balling, son. I got to go fill it up. And enjoy the second half of the USA and Germany here. The final tune-up before the Olympics start in Paris. I'm a little surprised Coach isn't at the Olympics reporting live for us on SportsGrid. I'm a little disappointed in that.
I'll fly out tomorrow. Go down, give me a flight.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like when there's this wind in this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
OMG, what did we just witness? Our first ever double playoff in Live Golf history. I am so pumped up right now.
So much happened on the last 5 minutes. I mean, it looked like it was going to the Crushers and Annie Barton winning, and all of a sudden then Abraham holding a chip, David Puig birdie Nate, then that little putt from Annie Barton on the last. I mean, it was great watching.
You know, it's really amazing to be able to do it in your home country, in front of my family, in front of so many friends, and on my favorite golf course. So it's obviously super nice.
We get back into some baseball from over the weekend.
Yeah, I want to rip through a bunch of these with you before we get to tonight. Of course, we have a lot of games tonight in baseball. Let's just look at a few things. First, Astros were going for the sweep in Seattle yesterday. Of course, we talked on Friday about how big that series was coming out of the All-Star break. The Astros did get a cycle from Yordan Alvarez in the game, but that was not enough. Mariners 6-4. Luke Raley on Root Sports Northwest doing the damage.
Fly ball.
Go.
A towering fly ball. Out to right field. Luke Raley has done it. A 3-run moonshot. And by recent standards, the Mariners have just blown it open.
Well, they lose twice to the Astros, so Houston, I think, got the better of them this weekend up in the Pacific Northwest. They lost the game, but, they caught them in the division. So I don't know what it is today. What were they? They caught them, and then they went up one, so now it's tied again, right?
Yeah, they are now tied in the AL West. That should be a fun race throughout the summer, and we'll see if Texas, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, can creep their way back into that as well. Bad news for the Mariners is Julio Rodriguez, or maybe good news. He's going to have an MRI on his injured right ankle. X-rays were negative. Not a good scene for him. He left the game, and they waived Ty France as well. In fact, speaking of waivers, Scotty, I just saw this a moment ago before we came back. The Dodgers, who, of course, have all those guys coming back this week, Glasnow, Kershaw, etc., today waived the Big Maple, James Paxton, who started last night for them. Now, Scotty, the interesting thing here is, now he was 8-2. He had like a 4.5 ERA. He's the only Dodgers starter who's actually made all his starts this year. The only guy who's pitched every game, and the Dodgers waive him to clear space. Interesting. I could see absolutely somebody going and grabbing him.
Why in God's name did they waive a guy that was 8-2 that started every 5 days and he looked good last night?
Yeah, I mean, look,
what do they think?
I know
Clayton Kershaw's going to turn back time? He's always injured.
I know
Clayton Kershaw was great.
Bombs,
he was great. I won't deny that. He was, but not anymore.
He's a Hall of Famer. Clayton Kershaw's a Hall of Fame pitcher. The problem is he's not a Hall of Fame pitcher right now. He's at the end of a Hall of Fame career. He's just not that good anymore. Brewers beat the Twins 8-7. The big blow here, Rhys Hoskins, go-ahead homer as the Brewers take both games from the Twins this weekend. Bally Sports Wisconsin for this.
Rhys Hoskins, 1 for 3 today. Hoskins to left. Austin Martin back. He's at the wall. He'll jump up, and Martin can't make the play, and that is gone, a home run for Rhys Hoskins. And the Brewers take a 7-5 lead as Hoskins with his 15th.
There you go. Brewers keep doing their thing.
They do. Nationals swept the Reds this weekend. That's a bad weekend for the Reds. I saw this morning, Scotty, that they are, after getting swept by the Nationals, looking to deal expiring contracts. They have a few of those in their starting rotation, Frankie Montas and others. So a very bad start to the Reds out of the break. Phillies beat the Pirates 6-0 yesterday. The Pirates, I did see the cruise missile, Scotty, on Saturday. Big cruise missile on Saturday. He is home run. He's home run or nothing for O'Neal Cruz, man. But when he hits them, they go really far. I'll say that about O'Neal Cruz. When he gets one, they fly.
Hey, the Pirates won the series. That's all I know. They won Friday. They won Saturday.
Huge
comeback. They walked off both days. All I know is that they're, playing great baseball, and it finally fell apart. I thought their defense cost them on Sunday. They made some errors.
Indeed. Cardinals beat the Braves yesterday. You talked about all the Brave problems with Chris earlier. Max Fried on the IL. Ozzie Albies on the IL. He's going to miss 8 weeks. They signed Whit Merrifield today, who, of course, the Phillies released last week. They'll take whatever they can get right now in Atlanta. Jays beat the Tigers 5-4. Bo Bichette on the IL. Marlins beat the Mets 4-2. A guy who is very much in demand, Scotty, showing his skills off right now. That is Jazz Chisholm, 3-run shot on Bally Sports Florida.
Payoff pitch. And that one is hit out toward right, a line drive. 3-run homer for Jazz. He hung the slider, and he gives the Marlins the lead.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this guy moving for a month now, so get it over with already.
Make it happen. Padres beat Cleveland 2-1. Royals beat the White Sox 4-1. Cubs beat the Diamondbacks 2-1 in 10 innings yesterday. We give you a lot of walk-offs on Coast to Coast. Don't get too many like this. 670 the score in Chicago.
The 3-1 to Nico. Ball 4. Pitch inside. Cubs walk it off with a walk. Tauchman scores. Cubs win. Give Nico Horner the game-winning RBI. Cubs prevent the sweep. They beat the Diamondbacks 2-1
Where
in
was
10.
that? On Friday when I had the bases loaded in the 8th with nobody out and I needed a run, and then they had 2 on in the 9th and couldn't get a hit either. Where was that on Friday?
Quickly, let's play Craig Counsell, who was very upset with a reporter who said that Christopher Morel was trying to hit the ball really, really far out of Wrigley Field.
Earlier in the game, just like the at-bats, thinking like the 7th inning with Morel, there's a tying run at second. He's looked like he was swinging for the lake there. I don't know. What do you think about some of those?
Come on, Jesse. Come on. That's your comment?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering about.
I think that's a bad take. I think that's a bad take. He's swinging for the lake. That's a bad take. It's a bad take.
Why is that? Why is that bad?
He's having a good at bat trying to hit the ball hard. It didn't work. The pitcher made a good pitch. He made an out.
Let me just tell Craig something, Scotty, your boy there, Craig Counsell. I bet on Morel plenty of times to home run. He's always swinging for the lake. Your boy Christopher Morel, always swinging for the lake. Every time he comes up. So please, Craig, give us a break there.
Craig makes all that money now so he can treat media guys crappy because there were no media in Milwaukee.
There was none there. Never.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This wind at this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this was one of those days for me, so I relished it. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
Just an update, 62-55 USA. They were actually losing by 1 to Germany after a 12-2 run by the Germans. But LeBron hit a turnaround, Embiid hit a 3, Curry had a layup, and they're back up 7 right now. So, and the other thing I noticed, they're talking about Durant leading the way, the 3-time gold medalist, 20 Olympic MVP, 2010 FIBA world champ. 435 Olympic points in his career. Meanwhile, as you know, Carver High, he can't even get on the floor with his bad calf. And it's the same, he's always got these calf injuries in the NBA season now in his older days. Let's face facts. He misses a month or two every year. I'm not even tripping. And he hasn't been able to play 1 minute of the pre-Olympics. I don't know what the deal is with Durant. Is he ever going to play?
I mean, I think Kawhi would have played more than him at this point. I mean, Kawhi would have got more burn, and they sent him home. So, I mean, who knows what's going to go on there. They love injured
players and guys that can't run.
It's amazing. They
love old guys that can't run.
One last thing from yesterday, and then I want to get into some other things. Rangers beat the Orioles 3-2. We mentioned the Rangers are trying to climb back into that AL West race as well. Jonah Heim did all the damage on Bally Sports Southwest.
It'd be great to get a big 2-out hit here.
Well, he could use it too, and he smokes that ball high in the air, deep out to right center. It is gone! Well, there's that big hit. Jonah Heim's 9th home run of the year. And the Rangers draw first blood this afternoon. It's 3-0.
I mean, they're 5 games under 500. I just am not that afraid of them. They're not the team that, I mean, they are, but they're not playing like the team that won the World Series. I'll tell you that much. They just don't put any fear in anybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares about the Rangers right now?
And they also are not even on this board. That is my AL odds for you here on a Monday after the weekend. Amazingly, the Yankees are still at the top of the AL odds board. To win the AL, they are plus 260. Orioles plus 275. Then the Guardians, Astros, Twins, Mariners, Red Sox, Royals. 29% of the money, the most, is on the Orioles, Scotty, to win the AL.
I'll tell you what, man, the prices on, and I know it sounds crazy, but the prices to me on the Guardians and the Astros are enticing, to say the least. Those two teams, like the Astros, I still think they're going to win the West. I still think, when push comes to shove, they beat Seattle 2-3. They play them in Houston. I bet they'll beat them again. They'll win the division. They'll go to the playoffs. And to me, at that, 6-1 right now, the Yankees can't get out of their own way. The Yankees I agree with the comments that I heard last week that they got 2 guys that can hit on the whole team. That's it. They got Judge and Soto. That's it. Who else hits? No one. They have no one else does anything. Who got all the hits today? Soto. Who got hits today? Judge. Who got hits on the home run you talked about to left field? Judge. There's no one else doing anything. LeMahieu hits a home run today, and you'd think the world stopped. The guy's hitting 177. He should be waived. I mean, they got to give up on this guy. His career's over. He hasn't had a hit all year.
I'm not going to disagree with that. They are not winning the American League.
They're not winning the American
World
League
Series. No, none of that.
They're not winning anything.
So no point in going there. NL, it's still the Dodgers at plus 160. Phillies are plus 210. Braves, Brewers, Diamondbacks, Padres, Cardinals, Mets. The Phillies have the most money, 20%.
Now, look, I know this sounds insane, but look at that price on the Mets at 30-1 or something. Like, look, they have talent. They have bats. They have pitching. They have a bullpen. They have everything. They really do. If they ever got their act together and made the wild card, which they're in now, if they made the postseason, if they got, they're not going to deal Alonso now, they might be an upset type team in the playoffs. Because to me, it's the Phillies and Dodgers like we've been talking about all along. But I want to see the Dodgers lose, and I would love to see the Phillies and Mets go at it. I think that'd be fun. That'd be more fun to me.
as of July 22nd, we start a new deal with a monster distribution platform called SportsGrid. And we'll be live every day on national radio on SiriusXM channel 159. And we will be live on their national television platform every day from 10 a.m. till noon.
Only on SportsGrid.
If this wind, like we have out of the Northwest, was here all week, it would be insane watching these guys play in it. But it's going to be a southwest wind, which makes it a little easier as far as the direction of the wind. The guys will have it a little bit of a break on the back nine. But it is such a fun golf course, one that I really do think tests every single aspect of your game.
Only on SportsGrid.
DeMar DeRozan now joins that team in Sacramento with the Kings. Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Devin Carter, who they drafted early, Keegan Murray as well. A Kings team, DRS, that has been a playoff contender.
Is it going to equate to a championship? Probably not. But that's not the goal. Make your team better every offseason. The Kings definitely got better with that move here, Ben.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The brighter the lights, the bigger the stakes. Hunt or be hunted. Know your prey. This is a whole new jungle. This is The Lion's Share. Brought to you by BetMGM.
I can't stop talking about the BetMGM First Bet 1500 because it's so unbelievable. 4 steps get you in on this puppy. 1, download the BetMGM app on iOS or Android or go to BetMGM.com. 2, sign up, deposit at least $10 in your account. 3, place your first wager up to $1,500 back in bonus bets to you if that wager loses. 4, when the wager, if it loses, is official and it's been settled that the game is over and you've lost, they're going to put BetMGM $1,500 in bonus bet dollars right back into your account. Like, here, free money. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it really is unbelievable. I can't even explain it anymore to people. They think I'm lying to them when I tell them about this promotion. They shoo me off. They're like, leave me alone with all your lies, Ferrall. I'm like, I'm telling you, the first bet 1,500, I'm telling you. They're like, shut up. It's unbelievable. People arguing with me about this stuff.
It is amazing that people actually still want to fight with you about it. It's right there in front of them. Just
right
go ahead and do it at this point. United States, I have them down 5. You might be a minute or 2 ahead of me, but
they're down 5
in the third. They're down 5, so they are struggling still here against the Germans. All right, it is time for the Lion's Share, brought to you by BetMGM, as we get you ready for a new week on a Monday night, Scotty, with some taters. A little tater time.
Tater time.
On a Monday. Let's do it. We do got some big ones for you at the end of this as well. Why don't we start, though, with Corey Seager and the Rangers, all right? I've been chasing Seager a little bit the last couple of days. He has been hot, of course, going into the All-Star break. We're going to try to keep that cooking here. Plus 360 tonight facing Fetty with the White Sox. I know Fetty's been okay. He's given up 11 homers this year in Texas, in Arlington. I'm going to take Seager tonight at the plus 360.
Yeah, you remember the last time Fetty pitched, I hit that bat with Fetty that, Crockett and Fetty are their only hope. But look, I like your odds here. I like the price here. I like the fact that it's at Globe. And, he's the guy that generally tunes it up for them. So they got to, we said before, they're 5 games under. They got to start winning, consistently winning. They have to win series. They have to win 2 out of every 3, 3 out of every 4. If they're going to truly get back in this, he needs to bop one tonight at home.
Next, also with a pretty good price, is Yordan Alvarez coming off of a cycle yesterday in Seattle. Of course, there was some little worries about him with the hip going into the break. Looks like we're going to stay hot coming out of the break with Yordan. And you've got the great Hogan Harris going for Oakland tonight at the dump. Harris has allowed 6 homers in 47 innings this year, plus 340 for Yordan. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not going to doubt when you put this guy up on the board on Taters because he hits them and they're playing at the Ashtray. And the funny thing is the A's hit homers. Like,
yeah.
I think that, I know I bet them. I know we're going to do games later. I bet them this morning, and I'm scared of the bet. Like, the A's hit home runs. So, this game could be crazy. And Houston may not take them seriously after that Seattle series. They may go in there thinking it's coast time at the Ashtray. We'll see. I bet that game's better than advertised tonight. I hope Alvarez hits one.
We could get some taters on the Oakland side. You've got Spaghetti Arrighetti going for the for the Astros tonight. So Oakland.
What's our boy Butler?
As well. Butler, I played him a couple times this weekend and he didn't hit, so I'm staying away from the Butler tonight. That's for sure.
The Butler did it. How about the Butler tonight?
The Butler tonight. Brewers and the Cubs at Wrigley. Wind was blowing in, as you mentioned on Friday. Wind moving a little out to left field tonight, and we have Javier Assad going for the Cubbies. What's the problem with Javier lately, Scotty? He's giving up the long ball. 2+ homers allowed in 3 of his last 4 starts. So let's go to Willy Adames and the Brewers tonight. And look at the number for Willie. We love this. Plus 475. Always hits well at Wrigley Field. Let's go, Willie.
Willie, and then you put a little sea salt on there, and then a little Christian Yelich with a bopper. How about a little tag team tonight?
I got no problem with that whatsoever. We want to talk about guys who have been hot, Scotty. Has anybody been hotter lately than Jarren Duran for the Red Sox? This guy has been absolutely sizzling and, of course, won the All-Star Game MVP. He's got 3 homers in his last 6 games, including last night in Los Angeles. And where are we going tonight? Well, we're going to Coors Field with Duran. And they're facing Austin Gomber, who's allowed 18 home runs in 99 innings pitched this year. Plus 525 for Duran tonight at Coors Field.
And look at the price on that. And look at what we talked about earlier, the altitude. The balls fly out of this ballpark, and he's been hitting them long everywhere else. He'll probably tattoo one tonight, maybe 2.
Maybe 2. You never know. Could get 2 taters from Duran. Next, Dodgers and the Giants tonight with Blake Snell on the mound for San Francisco. We got a couple guys who have some pretty good numbers against Snell, Scotty. Chris Taylor, he's got 3 homers off of Snell in his career. But we're going to go back to Will Smith, who's been very good to us on the lion's share for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's got some good history against Snell, 7 for 28 with 2 home runs in his career. And the real reason, you're giving me 6-1 tonight for Will Smith, who had the night off last night. He's nice and rested, facing a lefty Snell that he sees well, plus 6 bills for Will.
I love that bet, and the fact that you mentioned Taylor, I'd throw him in there too. They hit 6 last night, so they're rolling right now at the Ravine. But here's their nemesis. Here's their real rival. I know we always talk about this. It's the Giants. It's people try to make it the Padres, and it's just not. It's the Giants, and the Giants, when they played them at Oracle, they beat them. So. They hate each other, and it could get real interesting tonight. That's actually a great game. Whenever the Giants and Dodgers hook up, whether it's at L.A. or in San Francisco, it's always good.
Always a lot of fun indeed. And finally, in what I think could be the tater time game of the night between the Cardinals and the Pirates at PNC tonight with Palante and Helen Keller on the mound. And I'm only saying that because we've got a lot of history here, Scotty. First of all, 7 of the 9 guys in the lineup for the Cardinals have a home run off of Keller in their career. 7 of the 9 have hit a homer off of Keller.
Oh,
so that's one side. but I'm going to the Pirates side. First of all, Brian Reynolds has 2 homers off Palante in his career, but I'm going bigger. Why? Because I want swashbuckler Jack tonight against Palante. Jack Sawinski plus 850. 3 for 5 with a home run in his career off of Palante. Let's go, big fella. Hit a big drive to right.
Listen, I don't know who's worse, the swashbuckler or DJ LeMahieu. They're both hitting 177. Neither one of them can hit anything, but I still love Jack. My son's always trying to get him thrown off the team. I like Jack. I like the swashbuckler, and I like $850 if he rings the bell tonight. Whoa.
I always like to save those really big, heavy-priced ones for you at the end to kind of send you out in a big way. So a little plus 850 for Sawinski tonight. Let's clear the deck. Cannonball time out at PNC. So there you go for tonight. Seager, Jordan, Willie Adames, Jarren Duran, Will Smith, and the swashbuckler, Jack Sawinski. Tater time on a Monday here.
Now I'm scared to death of the Cardinals. I always have been, but you're telling me that 7 of the 9 guys in the lineup have hit Keller. Oh, God.
Have homers off of Keller in their career. So look to that side maybe as well. Tie game, USA and Germany, by the way.
Oh, 71 apiece with 8:40 left and rolling.
The Lion's Share, presented by BetMGM.
As of July 22nd, we start a new deal with a monster distribution platform called SportsGrid, and we'll be live every day on national radio on SiriusXM channel 159, and we will be live on their national television platform every day from 10 a.m. till noon.
Only on SportsGrid.
Where are you at in terms of a starting lineup, what you want to see from Team USA?
I think he'll get guys involved, and then there's your lockdown defender at the point guard, the point of attack, right? I do like Curry. I would then go with Ant. I like Ant over Booker. I think if you look at the way the Canada game was, they looked kind of slow starting, and then they kind of got rolling.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
He talked about Major League Baseball and its rule, or actually its relationship with sports betting and gambling.
Integrity is the foremost concern, and a lot of people are questioning that given all the scandals, right? There's Mercano, there's Pat Hoberg, one of the best umpires in MLB, suspended right now. We don't exactly know what he did, but he's been disciplined, and he hasn't umpired a game this year.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The staple of consistency within the AFC North, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17 years under Mike Tomlin, never a losing record, never less than 8 wins.
You add Patrick Queen there over from your division rival. You take a look at that offensive line, which does have some question marks, but still a decent wide receiving core that they have, a running game that has Najee Harris, and a quarterback that's been there, done that.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right. Let's look at tonight's games, Carver High. We got a lot of them. After the Yankees won today, the rest are under the lights.
They certainly are. We'll start in Cleveland, where the Tigers and the Guardians are going to get together. Carlos Carrasco going for Cleveland. And look who it is, Tariq Skubal. And that talk, Scotty, of Skubal maybe going to places like Baltimore seems to have heated up the last couple of days. We'll see what happens there. Tonight, Tigers minus 135 with Skubal, plus $1.15 for the Guardians, and a flat 7.
Well, I mean, the Guardians have apparently hit a wall. I didn't think they looked good this weekend. They lost the series to the Padres, and they're in an 8-13 rut. And the bottom line is, Scooble's a badass. I got to take Detroit tonight.
Another wraparound series, just like the Yankees and the Rays this afternoon. The Mets and the Marlins will play a fourth in Miami. David Peterson and Yonis Chirinos tonight, minus 150 for the Mets, plus $1.25 for the Fish, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I like the Mets here. It's a little juicy, so I'd be willing to run line it at plus $1.10.
We mentioned that the Cardinals and the Pirates are going to get together at PNC, start of a series. We know the pitchers already. Andre Palante and Mitch Helen Keller are the starters. The Buccos, Scotty, minus $1.30, plus 110 for the Redbirds, and an 8.5.
I just think Keller's been great. I got to bet on him. At that price, it's not that bad. I saw it at minus $1.25. It's not too juicy for me. He's been incredible. They've been winning. I won't deny I'm scared. You told me the Cardinals have all these home runs against them. I won't deny the Cardinals have always been a thorn in their side. But I think the Pirates are legit.
Well, look, like I said, they've got some good homer numbers. The averages aren't great, 241s, 240 this, 240 that. But, they just got a lot of guys who have hit some long balls. We'll see if Keller can hold them down this evening. The Reds are coming off a very tough weekend in D.C. They head south to Atlanta. Atlanta has all kinds of problems right now with injuries. Hunter Green and Ronaldo Lopez is the pitching matchup. Minus 145 for Atlanta. Plus $1.20 for the Reds and a flat 8.
Yeah, I still think, the Reds look terrible this weekend. I still think Lopez and the Braves will beat them. I'd be willing to, I'd run line it at plus $1.43 if I could get it. I think the Braves will beat the Reds tonight by a couple runs.
The Phillies are in Minnesota against the Twins. Ranger Danger Suarez going for Philadelphia tonight. Bailey Ober for Minnesota. Minus 120 for the Phillies, even money for the Twins, and an 8.5.
Wow. I got to take a shot with the Twins here at Target and Ober. The Pirates pushed the Phillies around this weekend until yesterday because of errors. Otherwise, they would have swept them. It was a 2-0 game before they started throwing the ball all over into the stands and everything else. So I thought they just kind of blew it. The Pirates could have swept that series. So why not the Twins? Why not? Remember we talked about them last week that they're a team with high odds that could make a charge and still win that division. And this would be a good opportunity right here.
White Sox are in Texas against the Rangers. Eric Fetty and Michael Lorenzen, the pitching matchup tonight. Rangers minus $1.85. Plus 150 for the White Sox, who have lost 7 in a row. But then again, they've lost almost every game this year. Flat 8 for the total in this one.
Yeah, Texas run line plus $1.18 if it hits. Fetty's tough, but the White Sox aren't. That's the thing. He'll pitch well, but Texas will find a way tonight.
Tobias Myers and Javier Assad at Wrigley tonight for the Brewers and the Cubs. Cubs plus 105 at home. Brewers the road favorite minus $1.25 and an 8.5.
I'm with you on the, Adames. I'm with you on Assad giving up home runs. I'm with you on the wind blowing out to left. I'm on the Brewers here minus $1.25.
The Diamondbacks are in Kansas City to face the Royals the next couple days. Gilbert Diaz and Cole Reagans are the starters tonight. Royals getting off to a good start sweeping the White Sox this weekend. Minus 160 for them, plus 135 for Arizona, and an 8.5.
I got to be honest with you. I think Arizona can beat them at plus 130, 135. Are you kidding me? I honestly think they're playing good ball. I mean, they're winning. So I'm going to take a shot with them in the K.
Red Sox and the Rockies in Colorado. Of course, Red Sox got swept in Los Angeles. They'll have Tanner Houck going tonight. Austin Gomber for the Rockies. Minus 175 for Boston, plus 145 for Colorado, and a flat 10.
Yeah, I like the over. I like the Red Sox on the run line at minus $1.10. That's where I'm going. I think the Red Sox will finally start winning again after they couldn't win in Los Angeles.
Angels are in Seattle against the Mariners. Tyler Anderson and Bryce Miller tonight. Minus 175 for Seattle, plus $1.45 for the Angels, and a flat 7.
Yeah, I hate that price on Seattle, so I'm going to run line it at plus $1.35. You see, I think they beat the Angels by multiple runs.
Hogan Harris and Spencer Arrighetti for the Astros and the A's. Minus 150 for Houston and an 8.5.
I mean, bottom line is the Astros own the A's, right? I mean, literally own them. So I'm going run line Houston. I bet it this morning. I'm not convinced that the A's can't hit home runs here off Arrighetti. All I know is the Astros are playing really good ball. They should go in there and continue what they always do to the A's, kick their ass.
And finally, the Giants are in Los Angeles tonight against the Dodgers. We know it'll be Blake Snell for San Francisco. The Dodgers, it sounds like, are going to go with some form of a bullpen game tonight with the undecided. Minus 130 for them, plus 110 for the Giants, and an 8.5.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers win this. Minus $1.25, not bad. You run line it at plus 162. Snell doesn't win. Gives up runs. I could see an over 8.5 as well. A lot of the money's on the over.
There you go. Big night in baseball. Let's get it.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have Live. It's
very exciting, and really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This wind at this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me, so I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
We go back, and I'm glad to talk more about the champion golfer of the year.
The champion golfer of the year, indeed, which of course is Xander Schauffele. USA, by the way, 83-82, with just about 3.5 to go in the fourth quarter. 85 as LeBron goes underneath to get another bucket. So we'll see if they can pull away here. Doesn't look like they're going to cover that fat number, though. Xander Schauffele, the champion golfer of the year, at Royal Troon, his second major win this year. It was a very jumbled leaderboard going into Sunday, Scotty. You had as many as 9 guys within 3 shots of the lead, but it was Schauffele with just splendid play on the back 9, made a couple of amazing second shots. One of them, like we talked about earlier in the show, on 11 out of the very thick fescue on the left side of that fairway, put it right by the stick, and Schauffele runs away and hides over the last couple of holes. Here he is, Scotty, and I thought this was a very interesting question for a guy who for so long had never won a major. For him to had one in his pocket with the PGA, did he feel any differently yesterday going down that back 9? He says absolutely.
It was hard. It was very difficult. I think winning the first one helped me a lot today on the back 9. I had some feeling of calmness come through, and it was very helpful on what has been one of the hardest back 9s I've ever played in a tournament. So it's it's a dream come true to win 2 majors in 1 year. It took me forever just to win 1, and to have 2 now is something else.
Yeah, listen, the Ferrall maker is unbelievable. There's no doubt about it, but there is nothing like the claret jug.
The claret jug. He said yesterday that I believe him and his dad were going to put the red wine in it first, Scotty. So red wine in the claret jug was how the Schauffele family was going to celebrate. And here's something else to celebrate, Scotty. You talk about a star-studded Hall of Fame list of guys that have won 2 majors in 1 season. How about these names, Scotty? Oh, look, hello, Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson, Nick Faldo, Nick Price, Mark O'Mara, Tiger Woods did it 4 times, Potty Harrington, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, and Xander Schauffele. That is a hell of a list to put your name to.
The last guy to do it in the same year was Rory in 2014 to win the PGA and the claret jug.
Yes. Last to win both of those in the same year was Rory. Of course, Brooks in 18 was the last one to win 2. Any 2 of that kind. I think we kind of had the tip of the iceberg earlier. And that is, of course, does this make him the golfer of the year? Is he the best golfer in the tour this year? And 2 majors versus 1 major for Scotty, and 6 wins and all-time money. And sometimes, look, I think it's Xander. I think you think it's Xander. And I think Xander can really put the end on it if he wins that FedEx Cup, which I know a lot of people don't care about. But when you get to the end of the line, if it's one of those 2 guys wins, Scotty, that could put them over the other.
So who did you say again is repping the U.S. in the Olympics? He's one of them, and who else?
Xander, Scheffler, Morikawa, and Wyndham Clark are the 4 United States reps.
Listen, if he wins the gold and he wins which I think would be almost, I guess, impossible to win the gold and to win the FedEx. But if he does that, it's automatic. But I've already, let's face facts, crowned him the champion golfer of the year. When you win the Open, that's the end of the conversation. That's it. It's over. That is the truest test of golf. They will all tell you the same thing. Every golfer said to a man yesterday that it was the hardest back 9 they'd ever played in their life. There is no comparison. I'm done listening to all this rhetoric about this. When you play there and you conquer that and you have everyone say the same thing, it's the hardest golf course they've ever played, the hardest 9 backside going in they've ever played, and he did that, you're the champion of the year, that's it. Enough said. It doesn't matter what happens the rest of the way. He's already got it.
I don't disagree with you. 2 majors is a hell of an accomplishment. He is 6-1 to win the gold medal in Paris coming up next week. Scheffler, of course, the favorite at +310.
No, you got to take Xander.